On this video, I'm going to be going over one of my favorite books of all time, which is Think and Grow Rich. So if you would like to get rich using your mind, make sure and stick around all the way to the end of this video. Hey, what's up guys? Nick Rapkalis here, and welcome to today's video. This has been a while since I've done a book review and overview and kind of like my main points that I get from a specific book that I absolutely love and I think everyone should read if they are an entrepreneur and looking to better their situation financially and just become a happier, more fulfilled person. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about here on the book Think and Grow Rich. So if you have not heard about this book yet, you're in for a treat, and I'm really excited to share this stuff with you. Now, if you guys do like this type of content where I put out like information about books, because it's a little bit different than the content I've been putting out lately, but you know, a lot of people ask me what kind of books I'm reading on a consistent basis, and do I read, and like, does reading books have a large factor on success and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to discuss a lot of that on this particular video. I'm going to discuss a lot about this book. I'm going to give a little bit of backstory, and I'm also thinking about breaking this into two parts because I could go on and on about this book. Honestly, it could probably be an hour-long video, so I don't want to make it too long. Obviously, I always want to respect you guys' time. I want to give you valuable information, but I also want to, keep it fairly concise so that we're not on here for hours. So if you guys do want that type of stuff, you want me to make more of these videos and you would like me to break this down and have a second part to this particular book, put down in the comments part 2, and I will be sure to make that. Okay, so I want to talk about kind of the backstory about this book because it's very important to understand the context of this book and why this book is so powerful and why you should be using it and using all the information that is inside the book. Okay, so Napoleon Hill. Okay, this guy right here who wrote this book. Okay, I want you to understand something real quick that a lot of people don't understand. So this is Think and Grow Rich. This is one of his most popular pieces of work because it's a much more concise version of this book, which is The Laws of Success. And you can just see how thick that is compared to Think and Grow Rich. Like, pretty monumental difference, right? So this was actually the first book that Napoleon Hill wrote. And basically, it has been documented, as far as I can understand. I don't know exactly how they document this exactly, but it is widely said that the teachings from this book, which is the full work of Napoleon Hill, this is responsible for more millionaires than any other person's work combined. Okay, so basically it's saying that this is if you want to become a millionaire, this is the most important thing that you must master. Okay, this is the most complete work, and if you want to be rich, if you want to be financially stable, and you want to make millions and millions of dollars, you should know this stuff completely. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about how this work even came about, because where was Napoleon Hill? Was he just this guy that just inherently knew all this type of stuff? Well, that's not at all what the case was. So in fact, basically, back in, I think it was the 20s or the 30s, I forget the decade now, but basically Napoleon Hill at the time was just this lowly reporter, and he was interviewing a guy named Andrew Carnegie, and at the time he was the richest man in the world. He was the guy behind the steel companies, okay, and he had a ridiculous amount of money, and so Hill was interviewing him, and he said after the interview, then Carnegie got this idea. He said, hey, I want you to go around and I want you to interview all the most successful people in the world. Okay, I want you to go do that. And then he also went on top of that and saying, like, I'm not going to really pay you much. I just want you to do this because it's going to become some of the most important things that people need to learn in order to become rich and successful. And so what Carnegie did is he gave him the offer, and again, it wasn't that great of an offer. It just knew that it would just help the world, help society as a whole. It wasn't that great of an offer for Napoleon Hill because he wasn't getting paid. It wasn't just like he had to spend like decades, the next few decades, learning this stuff, interviewing people without much compensation. But he knew that like after interviewing these people, he would know so much from that. So he gave him about, I think he gave him, Carnegie, what he did is he put a 60-second timer underneath his desk, and he asked him this. He said, and he clicked it, and he said, he didn't tell Napoleon that that's what he was doing. He said, boom, I got this offer. Would you like to take advantage of this offer? He gave him 60 seconds, and he said, would you like to take this offer? And Hill thought about it for a second and ended up obviously saying yes, of course. Why? Reason we even have these books. And so what a lot of people don't realize is that if that timer hit 60 seconds, Carnegie would have pulled the offer. And that's one of the biggest factors of success, is making quick decisions and changing them slowly. That's a mark of a successful person, is making decisions quickly and changing them slowly. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of context to this type of stuff if you're not familiar with Napoleon Hill or any of his work, because it's so important, and it's the type of stuff that's really going to help you become rich and successful, if that is something that you desire. So let's get into a little bit more of the context or the content inside of this book. I'm going to cover basically the first few chapters. And again, like I mentioned, if you would like me to cover like kind of a more advanced stuff that really combines all this stuff and brings it all together, put a part 2 down in the comments. Let me know that you would like to see a part 2. So that way I will make a part 2 to this video and just really wrap everything together. So the first thing that you have to understand is, like, I'm going to cover up everything else, but think about this. What does it say? What does it say? It doesn't say work hard and get rich. It doesn't say just go start a business and get rich. It doesn't say any of that, right? What does it say? It says think and grow rich. So basically, why I make a strong emphasis of that is the whole think, is that a lot of people have these misconceptions because it's been ingrained in us from a very young age to say, oh, you have to work hard, you have to, you know, do this, do this, do this. But a lot of it all comes from just thinking. Okay, not to say that only thinking is going to get you rich, but you have to use your mind to get rich, because our mind is controlled by our subconscious mind. 95% of it. Most of what's going on right now in our day-to-day life is just our conscious mind, which doesn't really even control our mind that much, doesn't control our life that much. It's really our subconscious mind. So we have to program our mind, program our subconscious mind to be programmed for success. And if you truly want to be successful and you truly want to be rich, you have to program your subconscious mind. And that's why I want to just take a minute to really engrave that in your head and in your mind, that thinking and programming your subconscious mind is the most important thing. And that's why this work has created more millionaires than anybody else's work combined, because it's all about thinking and growing rich, not working hard and growing rich or anything else that people tell you. It's all about thinking and programming your mind to become rich, because if you can program your mind, that is 90% of the battle. Okay, a lot of people that don't have success is because they don't have the right mindset. And I know it sounds cliche, but it is so true. If you can just program your mind and just have the thoughts, the beliefs, the actions that come along with that, that's when things become a lot more easy to become rich and successful. So I really want to help you understand that. Now, one of the first things that he talks about, and this is like one, and the reason I'm even making this video is because I recently reread this book, and I strongly recommend that not only do you read this book, but you come back to it every 6 months, every year, and keep on ingraining this stuff in your mind, because you're always going to pick up new things every time you read it. I felt like this time I read it was a completely different time than I read it before, and the time before, and the time before. So one of the biggest things that I got out of this book, and which is one of the biggest things in this book, is to have a definite chief aim. Okay, and basically what that means is just to have a desire, a goal that you're striving towards that just consumes your life. There's other people that talk about this, but they say you have to be obsessed, or be obsessed or be average. I think Grant Cardone talks about that a lot, but it's really true. And it's like a lot of people, they want to get rich, and they want to, have a lot of money, but they don't really have like a definite chief aim of what they're really going after. What is the service that you are going to render in exchange for all this money that you're getting? Because there's never going to be, there's a law in the universe. It's the law of giving and receiving. And you can never get more than you give. Okay, it's this law of fair exchange. It's a law. It can't be broken. So you have to do something. You have to provide value in order to get this money. Okay, you're never going to get something for nothing. Okay, I want you to truly understand that, because if you have a definite chief aim and you know what you're doing, you know what kind of value you're giving out into the world, that's what you're going to get back in the monetary equivalent. Okay, so just to give you an example, like recently, as you guys probably know if you've been following this channel for any period of time, one of my definite chief aims is become one of the world's most sought after YouTube advertisers. That's my definite chief aim right now. And I really related a lot to this when I was reading this book and saying, okay, that's my definite chief aim. And that's why I'm having success. And that's why I'm making money, is because I want to become one of the best YouTube advertisers in the world. And I want to help business owners generate more sales and more revenue inside of their business. And because I am doing that, because that is my definite chief aim, that's the value that I'm giving out there, that's why I'm making money. That's why I'm getting the monetary equivalent back to that. Okay, so that's why you have to have a definite chief aim. You don't get something, you don't get money for not giving value out there. You have to give something in order to get something in return. So have a definite chief aim. That's why it's so important to have a clear vision of the future and be obsessed with it, and knowing that like that's really the only thing that you want. Okay, you have to be obsessed about it. You have to have a healthy obsession about your definite chief aim. It's very, very important. Now that you have a definite chief aim, and maybe we should talk a little bit more about that. How do you find your definite chief aim? Well, there's a few different strategies and techniques, and I'll go a little bit more into that in part 2. But really, it's about trying a lot of different things. I didn't know YouTube ads was going to be my main thing for a long time. Okay, I started my entrepreneurship journey, roughly around 9 years ago now, and I had no idea what I was doing in the beginning, but I just kept taking action, kept on taking action. I kept trying different things, learning different things. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Okay, I didn't want to do that. And I was like, oh, I think this is going to be my definite chief aim. And then a little bit later, a couple years later, I was like, oh, that's not really my thing anymore, because I used to do like Instagram. Instagram was my main thing for a while, and then it was going well, and I was just like, I changed my mind. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't really vibe with it after a while, and I just kept on trying different things, and eventually I came and stumbled upon YouTube advertising. That's my definite chief aim right now, and it in all likelihood could be changing, but as of right now, I have the definite chief aim of like, this is what I want to do, and this is the value I'm going to put out, and that's the reason that I'm going to get a monetary equivalent coming back to me. Okay, so keep trying things, keep doing different things, so that you can find all the things that you don't like, and then go after the thing that you do like eventually. And again, it can always be changing, but you have to have a definite chief aim. Okay, once you have that definite chief aim, this kind of goes hand in hand, but you have to have a burning desire for that definite chief aim. You have to, like, this is the only thing that you're consumed by. You're literally consumed by it, and you have a healthy obsession with it. Like, YouTube ads is really the only thing I ever think about. I wake up and I'm always learning about YouTube ads. I'm going in our account and I'm learning YouTube ads, and I'm studying courses, I'm buying courses, investing into coaching. I got joined up with a agency, like we talked about, and spending over $100,000 a month as a media buyer with the agency. And like, it's really the only, it's a healthy obsession. It's got to consume you. It's my burning desire. And that's what Napoleon talks about, is like, with your definite chief aim, it has to become a burning desire. It's got to be something that you wholeheartedly go deep into. Okay, again, if you are just staying on the surface level and you're just thinking, oh, I want to do this, and you're dabbling here and you're dabbling here and you're jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing, and you're never going deep, you're going to struggle for a long time, because you don't have a definite chief aim and you don't have a burning desire. So how do we get more of a burning desire? Well, that comes from faith that it's going to work. You have a strong feeling, you have a strong desire, you have a strong vision for the future that this actually is going to work. It's going to work in your favor as long as you keep pushing forward, you keep on taking action, you keep on betting on yourself, and you keep on leaning into your edges. So how do we get faith? How does that faith, how do you really cultivate that faith? Well, a lot of that comes from what Napoleon Hill calls as auto-suggestion. Okay, so what auto-suggestion basically means is affirmations, the things you keep telling yourself, because you got to keep feeding your mind good stuff. It's just like you would never stop feeding your body, right? You wouldn't ever stop feeding your mouth, right? You always have to keep on feeding it good content, essentially, or food, So if you want a healthy body, you're going to continue to feed your body really good things, right? You're going to eat clean, you're going to eat healthy, and then soon enough your body's going to be clean and healthy. It's the same thing with your mind. You got to clean, you have to constantly bring it more good things. So that's reading good books, telling yourself good things, having Affirmations. I want to be the best YouTube advertiser in the world. I want to be the best YouTube advertiser in the world. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to be one of the best business owners in the world? Do you want to take over the fitness industry? Like, what do you want to do? And you have to get clear on what kind of affirmations you want to constantly feed your mind and say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And the repetition is going to help you. It's going to help you really start understanding that and start getting you faith and just having a clear mental picture for that. But the more you feed your mind, with your conscious mind, you're feeding your subconscious mind. So you're basically, what's happening when you are doing this, when you're doing an affirmation, you're saying, I am rich and successful, I am rich and successful, or I am the best YouTube advertiser in the world. In the present tense, that's your conscious mind feeding your subconscious mind, because it's constantly saying in your subconscious mind, you are successful, you are rich, you are the best YouTube advertiser. And you keep on feeding your mind that, eventually your subconscious starts to take on that and really believe it and engulf it and ingrain it into your subconscious mind. So if you can constantly be feeding your stuff with what he calls auto-suggestion, it's going to constantly build up your subconscious mind, and you're going to start to believe it. You're going to start to have faith, and you're going to start to believe that this is actually going to work, and then that's going to build up a more definite, or more of a burning desire for your definite chief aim. Okay? So those were like the three main things that I wanted to share with you in terms of thinking. First of all, that's kind of an overlying concept, is like, that's like the main concept. You have to think in order to get rich. Okay. It's not just work hard and get rich. It's think and grow rich. Okay. Not to say that you can just think and like not take any action, but thinking is the most important thing in order to have a good mindset so that you can actually get rich. Okay, that's an overarching thing. But the three things that I really wanted to share on this particular video was have a definite chief aim, knowing exactly where you want to go, what you want to do, because there always has to be a give and take. It's a law of the universe. You have to always give in order to receive, and you have to have a definite chief aim and give value to the world in order to get the monetary equivalent back to you. Okay, so have a definite chief aim. If you don't know what it is right now, keep trying things so you find out all the things that you don't want to do, and eventually you'll find the thing that you do want to do. The second thing is that you have to have a burning desire. Okay, the burning desire matched with a definite chief aim is a juicy combination for, you know, exactly getting rich. Okay, and the way that you get that burning desire is by auto-suggestion. Okay, and so basically there's another component that I want to take another video to really explain this whole another component in combinations with auto-suggestion, because honestly, if you're just saying things to your subconscious mind, it's going to help you, but unless you wrap it up in this one other thing that I'm going to share on the second video, it's going to be a much more uphill battle. So again, let me know if you guys would like me to make a part 2. In fact, I'm probably going to make it anyways, but I just want to kind of get your guys' feedback on if you like these type of book reviews, overviews, and pulling out the best principles of these books so that maybe you don't even have to read them. I would strongly recommend you read them anyways, but it's always good to get like a little synopsis rather than just always having to read. Now I want to share one little quick story before I end this video. So I believe it was in here. There's a story about burning the boats, okay? And just like making a decision and just believing that you're going to do it and getting leverage on yourself and doing things that gets leverage on yourself that really helps you get more success. And so it's a story, it's always referred to as burning the boats. So story has it that I think it was, I don't recall exactly who it was. They were coming into Mexico and they were doing some type of battle. Okay, they were in some war, it was a battle. I forget the exact details of it, but basically they came in and they were severely outnumbered by the opponents. Okay, and they thought they were going to lose. So what did they do? They boated in. Okay, they had a bunch of boats, but they were severely outnumbered by the opponents. What did they do in order to get leverage on themselves and say, we are going to make this happen no matter what? What did they do? They burned the boats. Okay, so they basically said, there's no plan B. We are going to make this happen or we are going to die. And that's the type of mindset you need to come in with this type of stuff. If you want to get rich, you have to burn the boats. You say, I'm going to do this no matter what. And you have to get leverage on yourself. And what I think I'm going to do as well as I want to share with you guys a few things that help me get leverage on myself, because you know, we inherently want to be lazy. That's just like the human way for whatever reason. So I want to share a few things that will help you get leverage on yourself Okay, and again, I think I'm gonna save that for video number 2 to help you guys really understand this stuff, so we can wrap all this stuff together and combine these 2 videos. Because again, I didn't want to make this video like super long, and that this second concept is a lot longer, so I want to save that for its own video. Okay guys, so thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this gave you a great amount of value. I strongly recommend that you pick this book up. One thing I will tell you is that something that helps me with reading, because honestly I'm not a great reader, but what I do is I listen to the audiobook at the same time I read the book, and that helps me with my retention. It helps with speed. So I know that there is an audiobook for Think and Grow Rich. I will put the link down in the video description. You can click on that. It'll take you over there. It's actually a YouTube video. I'll just put it in there so you can listen to it. You can always speed it up to 2x if that's too slow for you, and just makes things a little bit quicker. But it really helps you retain information if you're reading the book at the same time you're listening to it. Okay, it just helps it for me. I know if I just read a book, I don't retain it very well, and I certainly don't go very quick. So that might be just a little helpful tip for you if you can relate to that as well. But thank you for watching this video. Again, make sure and subscribe to the channel. Give me some feedback down below what you guys got out of this video, if you like the book review style videos, because it is a little bit different than the content that I made. And then if you guys can, let me know what other books you would like me to go overview, because as you can see behind me, I have a decent amount of books that I like to read. I'm constantly reading, constantly investing into new books, so that I can constantly be feeding my mind and just really building that up, so I can think and have the right mindset in order to get rich, because it's very, very important. If you don't have the right mindset, it's going to be a very uphill battle. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. Appreciate your time, and we will see you on the next video. Tonight.